When the fire happened last week, we got the evacuation notice, and the first thing that comes to mind is like, God, what do I save? So I ran downstairs to the archive that I've got and pulled out a bunch of stuff that I had recovered from London, from the fire in London, because in 1996, about 90% of my archive was lost. Things I really would have loved, like all the shoots for French and Italian Vogue, all that kind of stuff was all gone, but a few scraps remain. So after the fires passed, of course, we heard all the terrible stories of people who had lost everything. Really gratefully, I didn't, and brought everything back in here. And I realized I haven't opened these boxes since 1996 when I put them in my archive downstairs. So it was an opportunity to revisit these prints and these memories, which at this point are nearly 30 years old. And that's what we'll share with you here. These are the things that I was able to pull out of the wreckage. And a lot of them even got the water damage. That seal. Oh, look, I used to master print June 92. I used to sign and print everything on the back. I was so determined that the moments of time I was going to capture would somehow last through time. Fire damage, Sharon Stone for Allure. That was one of my first shoots in LA. This was the one that ended up in the magazine. Sharon Stone, print 1 of 3. Cindy and the Pearls, my first shot for French Vogue. Can see the fire damage is eaten away at the bottom of it. Oh my God, that made it through Naomi on the Rocks. Naomi on the Rocks in Joshua Tree. That was my first location trip to LA in July 1988. Another Sharon Stone, one of only one. All original prints made in the darkroom in London in the early 90s, so they would have been made on Agfa Record Rapid paper, which was then the best paper. There's Naomi. I think that must be backstage at Gautier. There's Christian Slater, different one of him. Oh, that's so sweet. Look, Christian Slater with his dog. She was so nice. I worked with her a few times. This is a job I loved, doing a tour catalogue for Janet as if it was a fashion magazine. So we laid it out like a fashion magazine. This was one of my favorite things I ever got to do. Just thought it was such a lovely, lovely project. These probably not been seen. They haven't seen the light of day for probably 30 years. So this was Lord Snowdon. He was definitely my greatest teacher. So these pictures were all taken at his show at the London Portrait Gallery. That's the man I remember. He was an amazing photographer, amazing teacher. Yes, this was Laura Dern. Oh man, this was amazing. I got to go and meet and photograph Paul Newman at his apartment in New York. One of one, it says on the back, unique print. This is one of my favorite pictures of Johnny Depp. He was such a lovely human being to photograph. He was really a nice man. And these were some of my favorite pictures. Pep, remember the days when we could smoke in pictures? Amazing to have Johnny Depp and Paul Newman, two genuinely extraordinary actors in the box together. My gosh, that's you two on the Zooropa tour. I totally forgot. I thought this had all been lost. Oh my God, that's amazing. This was all for the Vogue shoot. Christie with The Edge. I haven't opened these boxes since bringing everything back. It wasn't until this fire that I had the reason to break everything out. This was a picture I really loved. It was my favorite Rolling Stone cover. There's a picture of Annie Lennox. Looks like Dolph Lundgren. Oh, Abe Hamilton. He was a fashion designer in London. And this was the Cromolins of A Story for the Face. There we go. L.A. Rocks was the story. And Tatiana, she passed away a couple of years ago. A very young me with Tony Braxton. Oh my God. an immaculate Cindy and the Pearls that wasn't damaged. 2. Ready for Hides, what a lovely, elegant man he was, is tapping in a bonnet-copter, pink Alice. I really like that one. It was all in the East End of London before it was trendy and glamorous. This was when it was dirty and dingy. That was really a beautiful trip down memory lane. The first thing that I can think of is I'm so grateful to get to keep all this when so many people in Los Angeles have lost so much. Thank you for coming on this quick little journey with me. Take care.